You're listening to the Holistic Spaces podcast brought to you by Mindful Design Feng Shui School, episode 358, Feng Shui Chi Forecast for December 2025. Welcome to episode 358 of the Holistic Spaces podcast, where we hope to inspire, educate, and empower you to create your own holistic spaces that nurture and resonate with you. Laura Morris and Angie Cho are the founders of the Mindful Design Feng Shui School and authors of Mindful Living, a guide to the everyday magic of Feng Shui. We teach Feng Shui online at mindfuldesignschool.com. You can sign up for our mailing list for special free content, workshops, and events available only to our newsletter subscribers. We actually do have a new thing that's available only to our newsletter subscribers. The first is we have a special coupon code for our energy reset package to welcome the energy of 2026, the year of the fire horse. We have a special discount code for 50% off. And this is our annual Lunar New Year program. So it's a mini course with some rituals and a guided meditation to start to begin to release the skin, to shed the skin of the year of the snake, and to begin to embrace the joyful galloping energy of the horse that's coming in 2026. And then it culminates with a live gathering just before Lunar New Year next year. So we hope you'll join us for that. And the coupon code for our podcast listeners is POD50, POD50. And there'll be a link in the show notes. But you can also visit our website, mindfuldesignschool.com, and find a link to our courses, as well as a link to the New Year's Reset package. And then we also have another free offering that is exclusively only for our newsletter subscribers.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk about that in a bit. I'm going to talk about that when I talk about
It's
that.
going
No,
to
that's
be,
okay.
it's going to,
It'll
sorry,
be.
it's going to be in the
I'm going to
body.
talk about it when I talk about Winter Solstice. But let's get into the Chi forecast. So here we are, December. We are finishing a full year of Chi forecasts, and we are moving into December, and the first solar term, because we do the solar terms and we talk a bit about the full moon and we talk about the chi of the month. The first solar term for December is called Great Snow, and that happens on December the 7th. And this solar term embodies that energy of those big, fluffy snowflakes, shimmering night. Many of us have probably already experienced a little bit of snow depending on where you live. And it was cold. There was a couple of cold snaps there in November, but we're right into it now. And this time of year really is where we feel those shortened days, extended nights, and we have to embrace this time and hibernate in a way. It is important for us to get more sleep. It is made this way. If we kind of align ourselves with the cycles of nature, these darker, earlier days, it's natural for our bodies to want to go to bed earlier. I don't know about you, but as soon as the time changes, I've struggled to stay awake. So this is something that can be a challenge, but we can also see it as a gift. In Chinese medicine, this is an excellent time to start strengthening your qi by using this time of year to sleep more. And then I'll talk about the full moon. So the full moon of December is quite early. It's on December the 4th, and it's also a supermoon. The historical names of the December full moon are cold moon or oak moon. That's a really old name for it. And then also the long night moon, but it's quite far from the longest night, which is the solstice. So, we refer to it as the cold moon. And December's full moon, it really teaches us, it is like yin on top of yin on top of yin, because December's full moon teaches us to accept the darkness and the unknown. And it is an excellent time for us to start to nurture our intuitive gifts. So you have the moon energy, you have, super moon, so like extra moon, and supermoon just means it appears, it is closer and it appears depending on where you are, especially if you can get a nice view of it on the horizon. There's an effect where it looks ginormous. So that idea of the moon energy plus the superness of it it really gives you that extra yin energy. Plus, we're in December in the one of the more yin months, or the most yin month, as we move toward the winter solstice. And so you might ask yourself, what kind of inner wisdom, what am I reflecting on? What's being revealed for me during this time? And then we move into the winter solstice, which many of us are familiar with. It is on December the 21st. And this is when yin energy peaks. This is the longest night of the year. It is the midwinter celebration that happens through so many different cultures and has for thousands of years. This is the time when you celebrate that every day after this day, things will get slightly brighter and slowly move into, brighter, longer days to come. And that the yang qi will slowly start to gain. And we have a winter solstice gift for you. It's how we always tell our listeners that if you join our mailing list, we have free offers and free courses. And so we are offering you a free Feng Shui Basics course. So this is a Feng Shui Basics course that Angie and I created. It comes with videos. Each module, there are 5 modules in total. Each week, one is released, and it will come to you in your inbox in the newsletter that you will be subscribed to if you're a subscriber. And every Friday it will be there starting on December the 19th. So this is our little midwinter gift for all of you. So please, if you're not already a subscriber, please join. And then starting on December the 19th, it will appear magically in your inbox. Be sure to check your inbox and make sure that you mark us that you want these things coming into your inbox. Yes, Angie.
And you can join our mailing list by visiting mindfuldesignschool.com/join.
Perfect. Yes. So please do. It's a really fun course. It's very accessible. If you're interested in dipping your toe in feng shui, it's the perfect little starter. And then the little bonus is our last session. So the 5th week, we will be doing a live session where you can bring questions. And then we're also going to roll right into talking about the full program if you want to become a feng shui consultant. So good times. So make sure you sign up. Angie, would you like to talk about the zodiac animals of December?
Yes. So every month, we also now talk in our Chi forecast about the zodiac animals from the Asian perspective. So in Feng Shui, we do overlay the Chinese zodiac. And so we celebrate the Lunar New Year every year, and we're saying goodbye to the year of the snake, welcoming in the year of the horse in 2026. And along with that, each zodiac animal is also connected to a month and also days and hours. But the month connected to December is rat. And so that means that if you are born in the year of the dragon, the ox, or the monkey, this is a good month for you. It's a supportive month. The energy is on your side. However, if you're born in the year of the ram or the horse, that might mean that it means that you have a challenging energy with the rat. So it simply means this is a month to take care of yourself. This is a month to take it easy. And for everyone, we have what's called a PO day. So if you join our New Year's Reset program, I actually just finished this. I did all the almanac calculations for the year of the horse. And there are 2 to 3 days a month called PO days. And they're days to be careful. And if you can, you don't schedule anything but demolition on those days, or something like letting go or destroying something, or cleaning your house, things like that. So one of those PO days for December is December 15th. And that's a little bonus for our listeners. If you do join our New Year's Reset program, you'll get the whole year's worth starting November 2025. So that's starting the month that just passed, actually, and into January and February of 2027. So you'll have all the PO days for the entire year of the horse and then some. And in addition, part of our offering for the New Year's Reset package that we sell every year is all the auspicious dates for each zodiac animal. And in our Chi forecast, we share one of those. So one auspicious date in December for each zodiac animal. And we'll start with the rat.
Okay, rat is the 22nd. of December.
Ox. So if you're born in the year of the ox, it would be the 21st of December.
And for tigers, if you're born in the year of tiger, it's December 20th.
And another auspicious date for those born in the year of the rabbit is December 24th.
For dragons, it's December 18th.
If you're born in the year of the snake, the 29th of December.
For horses, it's December 16th.
For year of the ram, it's December 8th.
For monkeys, it's December 19th.
For those of you that are born in the year of the rooster, December 13th.
And for dogs, it's December 17th.
And the pig, if you're born in the year of the pig, December 23rd is your one of a few auspicious dates. And to summarize the chi of December, the chi is now more yin than yang. It's starting to become darker, less sunny, and this is a quality of the chi or the life force energy in December.
Yes, water chi will peak during the winter solstice.
And the wintry water chi during this time in December, especially as it's peaking in the solstice or during the solstice, is about quiet stillness.
Yeah, you could say that we are entering a more meditative chi.
And it's also encouraging us to go inward, to focus on our inner wisdom, our inner knowing, our intuition.
But it's also important to listen to your body. Our bodies need time to rest. So, as much as we'd like to think that we can always be sunny and joyful and blooming all year round, just like a plant, you need that dormant time. You need that quiet time.
So, for the chi of December, it's really helpful to remember that December is a dark time. It's the darkest of days, and that's okay. It's a time to reflect, to be quiet, to be still, to focus inward, to focus on our intuition, the collective unconscious, to see what's underneath the surface. And most importantly, listen to your body, rest, and embrace this darkness. And be sure to sign up for our special Lunar New Year workshop and our Winter Solstice gift to you by joining our newsletter.
So, this month, I am doing the reading. I am doing a tarot card reading. And the question that I asked was, how can the Holistic Spaces podcast listener community navigate the energy of December? And I specifically took it one step further and I asked, how can we use the energy of December to embrace water energy? So it was a very kind of a specific question. And I pulled the cards, and I will say that this is a testament to saying that I pull a card and I don't put it away and try and pull a different card when I pull a specific card, because I pulled, for those of you that know tarot cards, everyone says, oh, there's like no bad cards. And I do truly believe that there are no bad cards. But if people ask you like, oh, what are the 3 worst cards? And so I pulled one of them. So that one that I pulled was the current situation being the 3 of Swords. Okay. So the 3 of Swords is sort of notoriously known as being not a great card, but it really is a card that provides a lot of teaching, a lot of learning, right? And so this card, the 3 of Swords, which is one of the cards without any people on it, it's the heart with the 3 swords stuck into it. And it is often immediately referred to by many people as heartbreak or, relationships ending and kind of these really mundane things. But when you think about it a little bit more deeply, for me, and the way I like to look at it is that there's a wake-up call that needs to happen. So you are making the same mistake over and over again. And in this, you're not making it once, you're not making it twice, but you're making it 3 times, right? So there's the 3 swords. So my teacher used to always say, wash, rinse, repeat, like you're just doing the same thing over and over again, and it's not working. So do you need to walk away from something? Do you need to do something differently? Because you're getting the same result by doing it that same way. So there's a lesson here, a takeaway from this heartache, this disappointment, this regret, whatever it is for you. And you need to pull the band-aid off or pull the swords out. Okay? You need to rip the band-aid off or you need to pull those swords out. The other thing about this card that's important is that it's not a long thing. It's an immediate, it's kind of a quick thing, but it can also mean that it comes from an old pain that has never been addressed. So something that maybe wasn't addressed and that keeps coming up. So if you tie this into the question, which had to do how do we navigate energy of water, remember these are dark. We're going to be going to some dark, quiet times. So there's going to be some self-reflection. You're going to have a lot of time to think about things. Sometimes people get very lonely. So whatever that Three of Swords means to you, that you're doing something that is bringing you maybe sadness, maybe there's something, and it might not even be something you're doing to yourself. It could also be the swords have a lot to do with mental, the way you think about things, the way you process information. It might not even be an act. It could just be your brain sort of spinning. But whatever it is, this repeated thing that's happened, and because it seems to come up, it needs to be examined, okay? Or at least to be dealt with. The swords need to come out. But the nice thing is I pulled another card, and that card is the second card, which is don't forget and always remember the 10 of Cups. And the 10 of Cups is obviously a card full of bliss and full of joy. So it's always a good thing when you're doing a reading and it goes from bad to better. I mean, that's really what you want. There's an improvement. So if you sort of take this time to reflect and look at maybe what are these habits or these thoughts or something that has happened to you, I don't know, it could be a relationship that you're continually going back to, whatever it is for you, but you're doing it over and over again and you're not learning, is that this reflection, if you do take the time to reflect and maybe change, make these doing something differently, that joy is in the future, right? That this type of work comes with rewards. So the 10 of Cups has to do with gratitude, focusing on the positive, it's a happily ever after card. It's called in very popular terms. But really, you can also think about it cherishing what you have, to the relationships that you have, what supports you, all those positives. And that through the work of doing what's better for you, even though it might be a little bit painful, you can have the rainbow, right? That is in this card. There's a rainbow overhead. And so your current situation may require some self-reflection in order to arrive at this more fulfilled, more joyful place. And I like to always look at both cards and see what the symbols are in it and what can if there's any bridging. And if you look to the sky, skies are really important in tarot cards, especially if you're looking at the Rider-Waite Coleman deck, which is what I use. The sky tells a lot about it. And the sky in the Three of Swords is stormy. It is gray, which means it's unclear. Things are unclear. Things aren't really, it's thoughts are unclear as well. And then, of course, in the 10 of Cups, it's a rainbow after the storm, right? And it's the exact right conditions to create this phenomenon. And what are the exact right conditions to create a rainbow? It's a combination of two elements: misty rain, water element, or sunlight, which is fire element. That's sort of how, science, the light traveling through the tiny little droplets. But also a part of it is your perspective, right? Your position. You can't always see a rainbow, even if the conditions are right. It's your position, your perspective that allows you to see that rainbow. So I think there's something about that, lessons to be learned, perspectives to be shifted, decisions to be made in order for you to see the rainbow. That's what I've come up with those two cards, Angie.
I have a lot of notes. Okay.
You have a lot of notes. Excellent.
Okay. This is the part where we talk about how we can begin to look at this chi forecast and what we can do from a feng shui perspective to support you during this month of December. So, one of the things that came up for me is, since we're now embracing this transition between the snake and the horse, in the year of the snake, there was an invitation to shed your skin. I mean, I think that's one of the predominant symbols that a snake can offer is, what can you shed? The snake sheds its skin, sheds what's no longer fitting anymore for
Mm-hmm.
something new. And so this reminds me of the Three of Swords, where there's an invitation to look at what are the same mistakes that you're making over and over again, or what is the same pattern that's happening over and over again, and what are you doing over and over again that you're expecting a different result, or what do you want a different result from? What is the skin that no longer fits that you're ready to shed? This could be a reflection on the whole past year, right? And also from a feng shui perspective, how does this show up in your home? Is there a way that it shows up in your home? Like, is there a piece of furniture that you're hitting, like you're hitting your knee or stubbing your toe over and over again? Is there something even as simple as a door that is really hard to open or squeaky that you're not addressing? Is there like a sock that you've been looking at on the floor for like a month that you keep walking by and you're not picking up? Or is there a light bulb that needs changing? Like for in my house, actually, we had two light bulbs go out. We had a light bulb in our bathroom sconce and one of the two light bulbs in the bathroom sconce and one of the two light bulbs in the refrigerator both went out like within a day. And we've had those light bulbs in there like for over a decade, right? Because they last forever. So is there something that you see is a pattern that's showing up in your home? What can this reflect on your life? And we're talking about things that you can change. Like, obviously, like life is about collecting dust. Like, things collect dust, paperwork accumulates on your desk. We're not talking about things that are a representation of life, but what is something that's like a little bit of an aberration that you can change? Is there something that comes up for you, Laura?
Yeah, I was just thinking, part of the card is you're right. It's like, what do you keep doing that isn't working for you, but you're ignoring because it's causing you grief? Basically, that's the Three of Swords. And one of the things that comes up with clients, if I would come up with one example in feng shui, it would be your path to your bed. And the other thing is just changing your perspective, right? So you're always maybe you take the same path always to your bed. Take a look at when you're sitting watching TV or reading and whatever, and you're ready to go to bed, just take note of how difficult or easy it is to get to your bedroom, to get into your bed. And if there's sort of obstacles that you've been walking around, or maybe there's something you don't like that you've been seeing that you really wish you could change, or maybe you have to like, oh my God, I gotta make my bed, or whatever it is, something that is making you that you just are kind of doing the same thing over and over again. Because if you have trouble getting to your bed or into your bed or navigating that path, it actually does directly in feng shui connects with difficulty with relationships, right? It's difficulty with fulfilling that kind of relationship as well. So that's kind of what came to mind when I was thinking about the card as something's not working and you kind of have to change it because you're doing the same thing every time.
Right. I do want to reiterate, though, that there is that fine line that some people think we're talking about things like, oh, the dust like accumulates or collecting trash that accumulates. As long as you're addressing life, this is a part of life. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about things that can be easily changed. Like maybe there's a piece of furniture that you're stubbing your toe on like once a month. And then the second thing I was thinking of, based on what we can do in our homes and from a feng shui perspective, based on Laura's reading, is the idea of not forgetting the rainbow. And especially at this dark time of year in the winter, we spent a lot of time talking about December being the darkest days. How can you bring in a little bit of color? And Laura and I have seen a trend that people are very interested in color. And it's funny because if you watch we're on YouTube now, if you don't know, so you could see us talking and we're both wearing black. so, and we both have white backgrounds. So we're not, Laura likes more color than I do, but in any case, like how can you bring in a little bit of color, add a new color that you haven't looked at before, whether it be to your wardrobe, so that's your personal feng shui, your personal chi, or maybe in your home, is there a color that you haven't looked at? Or maybe even a rainbow of colors. Maybe you have a variety of colors or a rainbow color. And how do you bring that into your life to bring in a new perspective, to bring in some new sort of energy and joy? And if you want, you could also get a feng shui crystal ball and bring it near a window and take the time and catch the sunlight in that crystal ball and just see how you can bring in like some ephemeral rainbows into your home as well. And then the last thing that Laura talked about is about looking at the sky. So that can be something as literal as taking the time to clean your windows at this time of year. Often during the seasonal transitions, we remind our listeners to clean the windows. Your windows are your eyes. Your windows represent your perspective on the world and how you see the world and your connection to the world. So clean your windows. It's a good time to do that. And when you do, it's less about cleaning them. If they're dirty, yes, it is about cleaning them, but it's also about the ritual of wiping away any debris that's accumulated on your perspective of the world. And then take the time to also look at the sky outside of your window and what are the messages that the world wants to tell you. Like Laura talked about this, the weather. What can the weather tell you? What can the wind tell you? What can the sun tell you? What can the clouds and the rain? And what are these gifts that we often overlook, and the wisdom that's around us that we shut ourselves away from? And also, if you have a view, look at your view too. Appreciate what you can see out your
Your
windows.
perspective. Yes.
Yes, a new perspective. So, thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Holistic Spaces podcast. You can tune in every week for a new episode. Be sure to sign up for a mailing list at mindfuldesignschool.com/join. You can sign up for our free midwinter gift. For 5 weeks, we'll be sharing a gift for you. So our Feng Shui Basics program. And we also have our special Lunar New Year package that's available now. There's a special coupon code for our podcast subscribers, POD50, POD50. And you can look in the show notes for links for all of this. And we hope you'll have a wonderful December. We're looking forward to all of the podcasts coming up for the next couple months, next 3 months, I guess, to celebrate Lunar New Year and the end of the year. So thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week.